Welcome to Public Relations. Now you can use what's covered today for your club, yourself, or your business. Each one has a different target market and you need to keep that in mind. My name is Steve Feld, certified business coach, author of 5 books and professional speaker, and DTM. For the last year, I was the Public Relations Manager for District 3, and our media reach expanded considerably in that year, which was no easy feat when COVID-19 was taking the spotlight in the media. We had a solid marketing plan and acted on that plan. Every club should have their own public relations strategy to grow your membership base. And after speaking with so many clubs in Arizona, I found the same items reoccurring that was actually hindering the club growth in regards to public relations. First, the clubs that were not growing memberships had, no publicity. They were not using any social media, public relations, not even their own members to promote their club. Second, many clubs' VP of Public Relations were not attending any of the free workshops or taking advantage of all the simple strategies that D3 was producing and giving them information on to help them grow their clubs. Oh, by the way, all those workshops, they're all available on the District 3 Toastmaster YouTube page. And finally, those clubs that didn't do anything to promote themselves, they believed by listing in the Find a Club Near You section in the AZ Toastmaster site was enough for all the guests to show up. Couldn't be farther from the truth. Nowadays, clubs, you must have a proactive plan to market yourselves and then execute that plan in order to grow your membership base. Same thing goes with a business. If a business doesn't have a proactive marketing plan and they're not executing on the plan, they're probably failing. And as for you, if you're looking for a new job, want to move up the corporate ladder, looking to get a raise, you actually do need a marketing plan. You need to market you to those that you want to take notice in that for you to get that promotion, raise, or that new job. So let's get moving. Be ready to take lots of notes. The main purpose of public relations is forming a positive relationship with the media and public. So the purpose of public relations is to create and maintain a positive reputation for a person or an organization. It's also used to increase public awareness, generate goodwill, and build credibility. We all hear about brands, businesses, and people the media likes, as well as brands, businesses, and people the media doesn't like. Either way, the media is talking about them. All those brands, businesses, and people that are not even mentioned, and they're not creating any public awareness. And this could be local, regional, national, even international. Think of your club, your business, you. How could you be viewed in the media without a public relations strategy? I mean, are you newsworthy? Chances are you have something great to say about your club and how cool your meetings are and why people should join you. Or your business may provide a unique product or service to people that solves a problem. And then how about you? Maybe you volunteer your time. Maybe you have a unique story to tell that could really help others and be impactful in other people's lives. In any of those scenarios, you have something to say. As one of my mentors told me a long time ago, stop being the world's greatest secret. Shout it out. Shout it often. Shout it with purpose and meaning. Shout it to only those that want to hear it. Shout it out without being you get the idea on the last word. In other words, let others know what you do, who you serve, and how you serve them. So how do we do that? Well, if you're going to promote your club, then you must download the Toastmaster International Brand Manual. And it's available online at www.toastmasters.org/brand manual. This has all the branding guidelines regarding the logo, colors, layout, and so much more. Hey, did you even know that you can contact Toastmasters International in Colorado and actually speak with someone in their branding department? If you have any questions, And I'm telling you this now to save you time and grief in the future. So if you're thinking about creating anything with the Toastmaster logo or look, run it by the branding department before you post it, send it out, pin it, post it, tweet it, whatever it is, or use it. They're always on the lookout for violations of their brand. Get their blessings on your marketing piece before you get the nasty gram from them telling you, remove everything now. We could tell you too many stories about clubs creating something and then using it, and only to find out that Toastmasters International told them to remove it because it violated the branding guidelines. Just check with them first. I mean, you could download the logos and many other resources that I'll be discussing today from the brand portal. This is going to save you lots of time trying to create material from scratch and branding it properly. Now, I'm not going to get into covering everything, how to use the logo and everything that they're going to talk about regarding the brand because it's in the brand manual. I'm just letting you know where to go so you can get all this information. So if you post anything regarding Toastmasters logos, fonts, or brands on it, you're not going to get into trouble. And I'm not going to address individual club questions about branding due to time and doubt, the best place to contact is Toastmasters International Branding Department regarding the brand. They're actually very nice, knowledgeable, and they will actually help you out. They will work with you, but they are there to protect the brand. So I hope everyone's clear on where to get the information regarding Toastmasters brand and how to utilize it. So why do you want to use public relations? Well, first, you need to know your objective. I mean, what's your strategy? What is the purpose and the desired outcome of your communication? So for example, if your club is holding an open house to attract new members, your objective is to promote the meeting and the benefits of Toastmasters to that audience. Now, you need to start with the end in mind. I mean, District 3 sends out press releases on a regular basis to over 150 media outlets around the state. The objective is to raise awareness about Arizona Toastmasters in Arizona to drive guests to the local clubs. The second objective is our call to action within the press release. We want them to interview our district director on, raise awareness about Arizona Toastmasters around the state to drive guests to the club. Are you seeing we're following the same message here? When you're creating any promotion, make sure you're clear on what the objective of the promotion will be. Next, define your message. Analyze the qualities and values of your organization and how they will benefit your audience. I mean, in the example of the open house, consider what community members will gain from attending your club. I mean, the benefits including networking and meeting new people. If they join, they will gain public speaking and leadership skills along with self-confidence, right? Say that. If your message is fuzzy and not clear, no one but you will understand it. So when creating any promotion, think of this famous radio station, WIFM, which stands for What's in it for me. The me is your audience, the receiver of your message. You need to show value to that person that's receiving the message. If they don't understand the why should they attend your club as a guest and what they're going to get out of it, then why would they attend? It's pure and simple. Put yourself in the shoes of whom you want to receive the message. I mean, many clubs have a single social media post that says, "We are having an open house. Come as our guest." And that's it. There's no reason why someone should attend. Let's not even get into the fact that the club didn't even put down the date, place, or time of the meeting, which we see that all the time. So give the recipient a solid reason that resonates with them on why they should attend your open house. What benefit will they receive by attending your open house? What should they expect as the outcome? Be clear in your message. Next, identify your audience. Once you have defined your message, identify your target audience. Now, your audience is determined by many factors, including your objective, your geographical area, and what are you publicizing. Perhaps you need to reach a specific segment in the public, such as people who speak certain language, or a particular age, or they have children. For a special event such as Toastmasters Open House, your audience could be anyone over the age of 18 older who could travel to your location, your meeting. Now let's be clear about something, and I hear this a lot. Not everyone is your audience. You cannot be everything to everyone. Not your club, not your business, not you. You need to be specific on who you are targeting for your market. Then your message will target that market. Stop trying to be everything to everyone. If you think, I'm going to put a message out like I already mentioned, we're having an open house, come on out, that's targeting everyone for everything and no reason to join. Individuals join Toastmasters for many reasons. The basic reasons are to improve their communication skills, become a better leader, feel comfortable in talking in front of groups, be able to answer those impromptu questions, even become a professional speaker. Be part of maybe the global organization and learn and grow from others. Why did you join Toastmasters? Ask members in your club why they joined. That will give you a good sense of who your target market is and what the message that you want to convey to that target market to attract more guests to your club. I mean, same thing can work in your business. Who are your clients? Ask them why they are your clients. It's simple. Find out the specifics on why they buy or work with you. Then you know your target market and you can develop a specific message that will speak to that market. Some businesses create what's called an avatar on their target market. So they create a person, a persona based on many factors like age, sex, interests, goals, background, personality, and many other factors. So every club has their own culture, their own personality, which is actually created by their members. So if your club runs your meetings like a German train schedule, and it's not even a second over on the time on a segment, having someone come into the club who's a little bit freer flowing and doesn't mind going over a segment by a minute, 2, 3, whatever, probably wouldn't enjoy your club too much. So really know who your target market is. I mean, I visited 8 different clubs before I found the one that fit my needs and my personality type. Target your market with an appropriate message to make your public relations highly effective. Don't waste it. Next, disseminating the message. I mean, there's many ways to communicate your message to the public nowadays. I mean, you may already know and you can do it yourself, such as giving a speech. I mean, updating an existing website, posting on social media networks, using a website for posting and classified ads. I mean, other options for like do-it-yourself public relations include like making flyers or posters. Don't forget to obtain permission before you post them, but put them in high traffic areas where your members or your target market might see them, like colleges, universities, marketplaces, libraries. What about work and community centers? So now you know your objective, who your target market is, maybe what kind of platform you're going to use to get that word out. So now start preparing how you're going to do it. For many clubs, they just tell their members about their open house and that's it. No external messaging. A club may post, once about their open house and that's all they do. We see it all the time. And it's very ineffective and it's a waste of your time and you're just not getting that message out there. Posting it one time, it's going to get buried. And you're not, in that one post, odds are you probably don't even have when it is, where it is, and why I should come. So think about where you're going to post. Now there's plenty of free programs out there such as like Canva. So you can create your own great graphics, flyers, banners, and so much more. And then there's like Pixabay for stock images or graphics for free. And then have your club posted on the District 3 meetup page, for free. If you're going to send out mass emails, then you probably want to get a proper program for that, like Aweber, MailChimp, FireDrum, Constant Contact, and so many others. because you don't want to have it going through your Outlook or your Gmail and then getting caught up in spam filters. There's many programs and resources available at no cost or low cost to create all the materials you need for your club and your business as well as yourself. I mean, hint, District 3 creates actually all their graphics on Canva for free. The key is finding the right ones that's going to fit your club and what your objectives are and how to create your message. So stop being the greatest secret. Let's get the word out. Next, you got to determine worthiness. Now, worthiness is really kind of cool. As one of my mentors used to say when talking about marketing, he used to always say, so who cares? He's not saying that to be a mean or a jerk. He's saying that as a question. Who cares? The reason he says that, he wants you to think about newsworthiness. Is it timely, relevant, prominent? Is it has a human interest story? Is it visual? What is it? What are you publicizing that may help determine which public relations tactic to use? And will it be seen as newsworthy? Keep in mind of everything we've already discussed. Now, newsworthy could be popular, high profile, or regularly scheduled event like a free community event in the summer, a concert, but you got to start publicizing it out 2 to 3 months ahead of time or more in advance, depending on the event. For smaller, more informal events or activities like open house for your club, maybe 7 to 14 days is often sufficient. But you also have to think, that's 7 to 14 days of posting and getting the message out. Plan another probably 14 to 30 days of pre-planning before those posts. And allow more time around holidays, large-scale events in which many people participate in, such as summer vacations, beginning of school terms. And then when creating your marketing piece, please don't forget those simple 5 W's we learned way back when. Who? Who's involved in the feature? You gotta have a great headline. What are you publicizing? Make sure you're only mentioning like one item per message. If you have too many items in the same message, it gets convoluted. Okay, it has to be short to the point. Where? We see this all the time. People are posting and they don't even tell anyone where your club is located. Maybe directions, maps. I mean, folks, this one gets overlooked all the time. When? When does it start? When do you meet? What is the day, the date? Do you need an RSVP? Is that required or not? What's the deadline in turning in an RSVP? What action item is needed from the recipient in your message? What do you want them to do? When is it? And then why? Why should the public know about your message? Remember with them? Make sure you're targeting your market for effectiveness. A news release is a concise written announcement sent to the media to gain publicity. Now, journalists may use news releases to contact you for more information. News releases are quick and inexpensive to produce and distribute to journalists electronically. So press releases should be sent in appropriate media outlets, which we'll discuss here in a moment. They should not be more than 1 or 2 pages, Arial font, 12 points. They're going to address the 5 W's we just discussed. A great resource for the document is document 1140 called Let the World Know. Now you can download that from Toastmasters International. It has tons of information about public relations along with tons of examples on how to use it. But here are 15 tips for creating a professional looking news release, which you can see here in their press release. Okay, it needs to be typed. Don't handwrite it, please. The text needs to be double spaced on one side of the paper, not front and back, one side only. Margin should be 1 inch on all sides. It should be formatted on 1 to 2 pages at the most, standard 8.5 by 11 inch side paper. And make sure to include your media contact in the upper right hand corner of the release. I mean, this is where you're going to put your name, first and last name, telephone number, and the email. So if they need to contact you, they can find you really fast. They don't go searching. They won't go searching. In the top left-hand margin, That's where the Toastmaster International logo goes. And then you have to create a headline, and it's the center, and it's in bold type just above the first line of the body of the release. Now, headlines highlight the most important, significant, or surprising fact of the release. The headline should start with emphasis on the word, like Toastmasters, for example, Toastmasters District, or local Toastmaster Club. If you notice the theme in all of our press releases, they always say Arizona Toastmasters. Next, create a deadline. It's the first line of the body of your release, including the city where the release is generated and the date. Follow the first line with the most important sentence, the lead. Now, the lead is 1 or 2 sentences that catches the reader's attention and answers the question, why should I care? Then, be sure to answer those 6 basic questions. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Remember, this is a news release. Don't put in technical jargon or fluffy words in your opinions. There's no paragraph indentation necessary. It doesn't include any spaces between paragraphs. They all run together. And then wrap up your whole paragraph before the boilerplate for the additional information line, where to find more information, maybe an annual report, a website. What other source of information are you providing the journalist? Be sure to use the latest standard boilerplate from Toastmasters International. And you can find that on the bottom of all the latest news releases on Toastmasters International website. Now, the boilerplate. See, at the end of the release, after the boilerplate comes 3 pound marks, or end, or as some people say, hashtags, 3 hashtags. That says we're done. That's the end of it. Model your news releases after an example like I'm showing you right here. And edit. Make sure you edit the release for any typographical errors, mistakes in grammar, or incorrect information. Be sure to use the Toastmasters International logo and letterhead. And you can actually find that all on the Toastmasters branding site. So keep in mind, your release may or may not get published as a whole. They might take parts of it, or they might take none of it. It can be used as a news brief consisting of only maybe 1 or 2 sentences. That's why it's so important to have so many facts as possible in the first paragraph. If you don't excite the reader after the first paragraph, they're not continuing to read. They get too many of these a day. Well, who gets these? Well, now you have to research the media. Different media channels such as news, websites, television, radio stations, newspapers, magazines, typically specialize in a certain type of news. A local television station that broadcasts in a language spoken by some members of your community wants news that pertains to that audience. So a magazine that covers parenting and children is not likely to be interested in your club's speech contest winner unless there's some connection to its readers. Search online to find out which media operates in your area and the audience that they serve. You can find this information, well, on their websites. Know how each audience will benefit from what you are promoting. You can also determine how and to whom what is newsworthy information and what needs to be submitted. Pay attention to the deadlines and how far in advance that they need to receive everything before they are allowed to submit it. So how do you find this media? Well, pretty easy. So what websites do you and your club members visit most often? Social media platforms, what do you guys use? Radio stations, what do you listen to? You hopefully can see where this is going. You need to know where your target market is, obtaining their information, and that's where you want to be. Getting a media contact is actually very easy nowadays. Well, that's because it's all on their websites. And it's very easy because it also has their name, what they do, and you can actually check out some of their past articles, stories, to make sure it's in alignment for what you're trying to promote. And it also, of course, has their email address. Remember, just like not everyone's your audience, not every media outlet is your platform. I mentioned that we send out press releases to over 150 media outlets around the state. Well, we have found over 300 media outlets around the state. Now, not all of them communicate to our market, and here's what I mean. We don't send anything to the Arizona Parenting magazine. Well, why? They only focus on new parents and nothing else. So we can have could we have members that are new parents? Well, yes. But the magazine editor sees it differently. They only have articles and resources for new parents, and Toastmasters does not fit their profile for those articles and resources. Knowing that they'll never look at our press releases, so what's the point? We just don't send them anything. On the other hand, we're constantly sending information to like the Arizona Republic because they're providing a more blanketed coverage across all of Arizona. Only send or post your material on the medium that will work the best for you and your target market, and state what your objective with the material is. Don't put it where your public isn't. Don't put it where your target market isn't. Don't waste your time. Next, you got to contact the media. I mean, you researched them, so you got to create a compelling story and develop brief talking points so that you can convey your message in a way that will capture the attention of the media outlet and their audience. Be sure to include pertinent information such as the who, what, where, when, why, and then why you're promoting an organization or an individual. The message has to be clear and your facts correct, short and to the point. I mean, you spent all this time researching the media, now reach out to them. If you're going to send them a press release, do so on a regular schedule, usually twice a month, depending on the story or what you're trying to say out there. But make sure it's newsworthy. You want to start generating interest in your club, your business, or even you. But just don't be spammy. You can also pitch to journalists. Now, you can contact a specific journalist or editor directly. This is known as pitching. Pitches are brief and they include the main points of what you're trying to seek out and publicize, such as like an open house. But why is it important to the audience that the journalist serves? And why should he or she even report on it? Pitching stories is less formal than a news release, and it's most effective when you already have that relationship with the journalist. So when pitching a story, be brief and to the point. Make sure you're pitching the right story for the right journalist. If you're pitching a story on how your club's main mission is philanthropy and you'd like to get more members, do not pitch that idea to a journalist that only writes on commercial real estate. I think we already have everything covered on that one. Next, interviews. That can also include podcasts, webcasts, television shows, radio stations may interview guests and provide specific information to their media audience. They may seek out guests who are an expert on a certain topic or that are well known. We see it all the time in media. Use media websites to research the topics or organizations typically covered by the specific media. And if appropriate, you can propose a great guest interview about a specific topic. Now, for the record, there is no not on the record. Anything you say to any media outlet is on the record. Period. The off the record thing is a movie thing. That's it. Reality is something else. So when you're interviewed, be prepared. Make sure you state the facts on your objective and what's the outcome that you want out of that interview. If you want people to attend that open house, then make sure you state why people should attend, what they will get out of your meeting, when is the meeting, where is the meeting, and how to contact you or even RSVP. Interviews are fantastic on getting the word out about what you're promoting. Just try not to and all your way through it. Special events. Now, holding or sponsoring a special event is a great way to inform the public of your message, right? I mean, an event may be small or local, bring together individuals or organizations, or maybe even people from around the world. It could be open to the public or to a select group of guests. Events can be held live, in person, and virtually nowadays online. So if you're having that special event like that open house, then utilize everything we've been discussing to promote and make the event a success. For clubs, holding open houses is a fantastic way. Many clubs hold many other kind of special events, but they're promoting it to all the clubs, all the members, and even non-Toastmaster members who may be interested. Social media. Many news organizations use social media to connect with the public. But you have to really research news organizations' websites and look at their detailed audience demographics to assist you with tailoring your message for that medium. Utilizing social media is a great way to get your message out, but make sure you're on the right platforms for your target audience and your message is on point. Since you're going to be reaching a larger number of people, you need to be targeting your target market, not everybody. Now, media outlets watch social media all the time. Their favorite channel is actually Twitter. So if you tweet and put in like Arizona Republic, someone is seeing it. They are all over it. They have teams of people looking at their social media anytime they get tagged anywhere. So think about it. What are you trying to do with social media? So obviously it's get the word out, but if you're also trying to attract media attention, make sure you tag them as well. Now let's put it all together. You have your objective, you have your clear message, you know who your target market is, you know how you're going to get your message out. You got to make it newsworthy. Now you know how to craft a press release. You research the media and you know who you want to send that message to. Now you contact the media, you pitch them your idea, you're ready for the interview, you created a special event, you know which social media platforms you're going to use. Then what? Well, at the beginning of this, I said we start with the end in mind. So the end in mind is know your objective. So here, start with the end. So for example, if you're going to have an open house at the end of the month, then create a plan between now and the open house date. Time to create a calendar and put everything into action. So get a blank calendar for the next month. Put in D-Day, open house. Then you can either work backwards to today or start with today and work forward to the open house date. Whatever works the best for you and your club. Now I know that all material needs to be either sent out or posted 2 to 2.5 weeks before the event. That's when it has to start. Put that on your calendar. Now we start filling in the blanks. Have your open house committee meeting and work out all the details of the open house. Who does what, by when? What are the objectives of your open house? What do you want to have come out of it? Well, more members. Be a little bit more specific. Then craft your message. You know who your target market is. You know your objectives. Create that message and then start planning on where are you going to put this message. Create the graphics for it. Research who you're going to send it out to in like maybe public releases. Research which social media platforms you're going to use and possibly which groups you can post in. Now create some verbiage and graphic that you're going to give your members so they can post it on their social media platform. Because you want to cast the largest net possible. And then finalize all your marketing and prep before the launch. Things are going to pop up. Challenges, oopses, be ready for it. Send out your press releases and start posting on social media. Remind your members to post. Otherwise, they won't. Send an email to all your past and prospective members, letting them know about the open house. Having them come back and check you out. They already know you or have a relationship with the club. Why not reach out to them and invite them back in? Things could have changed. Keep posting and sending out those materials. Have your open house and hopefully with great results. The better you plan at the beginning, the easier it will be to execute. Plan to monitor any results of your strategy and follow up as required. Follow-up should be part of your strategy. After beginning your public relations tactics and strategy, track inquiries, look at the new members, and measure those results from your efforts. And if possible, compare those results with those that you've done before when you started, before you'd even had public relation efforts or tracking any of it, and determine how effective it was. Things will change. Always measure your results. Will you make adjustments in the middle of your plan? Maybe. But it'll be based on the results that you're obtaining. Give you an example. District 3 created a series of social media training sessions. We discussed the attendance may be low for the live event, but we knew the replays were the key. That was our target, was the replays. So, and guess what? We were not wrong. About 20 people showed up for the training sessions live, but hundreds worldwide watched the replays. The replays were now part of our marketing plan, and we knew that going into it. So the replays were the keys. Follow-up. Now it's time for you to go out there and create a highly effective marketing plan for your club, for your business, for yourself. We wish you the best. Good luck. This is Steve Feld.